Alright, so we're going to continue looking at subtraction. We did regrouping of one number. We did regrouping of two numbers. We've gone up to 4 digits. 4 digit subtraction. So now we're going to go back down to 2 digit subtraction. But this is going to be a little different because we're going to start working with zeros. And this, at first, this won't be that different, but we're gonna get into a little more difficult subtraction. So right now, the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna ask ourselves, which side do we start on? And the answer is right here. We always start right here, and then we ask ourselves, is the bottom number bigger than the top? So is the bottom bigger than the top? Yes, it is. 1 is bigger than 0. So the 0 is going to walk next door and ask the 4 if he can borrow a cup of sugar. The 4 is going to say, well, my, it's my neighbor 0. Of course you can borrow a cup of sugar, honey. So she gives him a cup of sugar. And that cup of sugar goes right there. Now 4 doesn't have 4 cups of sugar. She only has 3 cups of sugar. Now we can subtract. So we start over here, start in the ones place, subtracting. 10 minus 1 is... What is 10 minus 1, guys? 9. Very good. 10 minus 1 is 9. And 3 minus 2 is 1. So we have our answer, 19. Now, if you're like me and you just like to know that you're right instead of just thinking you're right, I mean, you went through the correct steps, so you should be right. But just in case, we're going to check ourselves. So this 21 is going to come down here, minus 21. And now instead of minus 21, we're going to add 21. Now we're just going to add. 9 plus 1 is 10. We carry our 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. So our answer is 40. And that's what we started with, so we know we got it right. Okay. Easy peasy, right, guys? Yep. Easy peasy, I know. Alright. So let's try another one. Not really any harder than that one because now you know your steps. So none of these are that hard. Let's do 80 minus 33. So, what side are we going to start on, guys? Right. We're going to start on this side in the ones place. And the next thing we're going to ask ourselves is what? Right. Is the bottom bigger than the top? And in this case, yes. 3 is bigger than 0. So what are we going to have to do? Right. We're going to walk next door and we're going to ask in a different voice this time, 8, can I borrow a cup of sugar? And 8 says, why yes, certainly, you can borrow a cup of sugar. So she gives 0 a cup of sugar. And that 1 cup goes right here. And the 8 now has 1 less cup of sugar, or 7. Now, we're ready to subtract. 10 minus 3 is 7. And 7 minus 3 is 4. So our answer is 47. And now, you don't have to, but I think it's a good habit to check yourself. So we're going to bring our 33 down, and we're going to make it addition. So we're going to add 33. We're going to do the opposite of what we have here. So 7 plus 3 is 10. So we put down your 0 and carry your 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, and 5 plus 3 is 8. So we have what we started with. So we know we got it right. So when I was growing up, people always told me, check your work, check your work, check your work. Yes, I think it's very important to check your work. But if you go about the steps correctly, you will or you should get the correct answer. But the good thing about math is there are steps that you can follow. And if you follow those steps correctly, you should get the right answer. But if you don't, at least your teacher can see that you know how to get the correct answer. You might have just made a little error along the way. And that little error, if your teacher's just looking at the final answer, which some of them do, then the final answer is going to be wrong, so she's going to count the whole thing wrong. But if the teacher looks at your process and says, oh, well, they just messed up on one little thing, then they might just count some points off instead of counting the whole thing wrong. But either way, know your process, but also know how to check your answer. If you want to, if you think that it would benefit you, because I hated going into a test and not knowing. So if you do the correct steps, and then if you check your answer, you really know 100% that you got it right. And then that way you'll be able to tell your friend when they ask you, hey man, how'd you do on the test? You can say, you know what? I killed it. And you know why I killed it? Because I checked my answers. And my answers were right when I checked them, so I know they're right. And that's what people mean when they ask you how you did on your test. So guys, until next time, keep practicing. I'm enjoying doing these videos. I like being there with you way more, but I hope that you're watching the videos. I hope that you're learning something from them. I hope you're taking notes. I hope some of the things I've been doing have been silly and entertaining. And just keep practicing, and I'll see you soon.